On November 22nd, 1963, our 35th president was shot and killed in Dallas, Texas. As we look back at the events leading up to his death, I hope this piece of history reminds you to live life to the fullest and cherish what comes your way. For anybody who doesn't know, JFK is best known for his fight to ensure equal rights and opportunities for all Americans. He highly encouraged all Americans to lift up those less fortunate than themselves, at home or abroad. He also challenged the nation to reach for the impossible and land a man on the moon before the end of the decade. The morning of November 22nd, 1963, at Fort Worth, was a little rainy outside of the hotel the Kennedys spent the night at. The president gave a speech outside on a platform set up for him and the First Lady, Jackie. The audience was all smiles, and Kennedy happily shaked a few hands before heading back inside for breakfast. During that speech at breakfast, Kennedy talked about the nation's needs. After breakfast, the president's team started a motorcade to Dallas, which included a 13-minute flight from Carswell Air Force Base. Upon arriving, President and Mrs. Kennedy started almost immediately toward the crowd of people, shaking hands for several minutes. The First Lady was given a beautiful bouquet of flowers, which she took with her in the limousine. Since the rain stopped, the hood to the convertible popped open, and Governor Colony and his wife were in one with the Kennedys. They traveled a 10-minute mile route on the way to a lunch. As people lined the streets of Dealey Plaza to wave at the cars passing by, they turned off Main Street and drove past the school book depository. Then they heard a gunfire reverberate in the plaza. Bullets hit President Kennedy in the neck and head as he slumped over Mrs. Kennedy. Governor Colony was shot in his back as well. The car sped towards Parkland Memorial Hospital, but unfortunately nothing could be done for the president. After about an hour of trying, they pronounced him dead at 1:03 p.m. Governor Colony would recover. Half an hour later, Lee Harvey Oswald, an employee at the school book depository, was arrested for the shooting of the president. There was a hearing scheduled over the shooting on November 24th. However, before he could say anything, he was shot by a local club owner, Jack Ruby. The president was finally laid to rest on November 25th, 1963, in Arlington National Cemetery. Thank you for taking the time to remember him during his memorial with me. Kennedy is one of my biggest inspirations and has pushed me for years to always try my hardest in everything. He's taught me to always accept accountability, lift up the less fortunate, and look at the bright side of life.